to the pods are against us, taking on every podcast topic, one episode at a time. Become one of the pod people and follow and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and Podcast Addict. On to the show!
Hey, welcome in everybody. This is the Against Us Pods Are Against Us podcast, and I am your host, QB1, Sweet Lou, the Nowhere Man himself. My co-host, Raging Cajun Kenny wasn't available this week, but we're going to get things going either way. Talking about last week, I went 8-5 on our picks, hoping to do better this week. Still at a 65% accuracy rate. That's a 78-42 record on the season. Good for second place. Looks like Kenny overtook us again. He's in first with a 75-44 record. Still a better record than him, but I think his confidence was a little higher on some of those picks he got lucky on. The score is 673 to 669, so 5-point difference. We're going to start off the week. We are on byes for Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we only have 14 games this week on the bracket. We're going to start off with our number 14. That's the LA Rams, as the New Orleans Saints come into LA. But they're not going out winning. I'm pretty sure the Rams will take this, and I will take a 14 on that one. Our next pick is going to be the LA Chargers at the Tennessee Tits. That's right, the Governor's Chargers are going to Tennessee. And this time, I think the Chargers are coming out. So give me a 13 on that one. After that, we're going to go to Cheeseville, where the Green Bay Packers are at, because the Carolina Panthers are coming into town, and I don't think they're going to be leaving town with winning cheese, maybe the losing cheese, you know what I mean? And the Packers are going to win that. I'll put a 12 on that one. That'll bring me to number 11. Number 11, we got the Detroit Lions in Detroit as Minnesota Vikings come to visit. And, you know, Carson Wentz is playing injured, I hear. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. Even if he wasn't injured, I don't know if Minnesota's got enough of a team to beat the Detroit Lions. They are really good this year again. So I will take an 11 on that one. You got to get them double digits when you can. Nobody had Minnesota last week, and I wouldn't be surprised if nobody had Minnesota this week in my confidence pool. Coming up next is going to be our Pick 10. Pick 10, the Baltimore Ravens are in Miami, taking on those mighty Dolphins, and our boy Hot Tua. Oh, he's terrible, man. So give me the Baltimore Ravens with a 10 on this one, as our boy Lamar Jackson is back. I will take that 10 on them. Couple things to say about Baltimore last week. Both the first place and second place finishes took an 8-9 on them last week as they faced the Bears. Most of us had the Bears winning because the Bears had 4 in a row going into this week after a bye, and you know Baltimore hadn't been so good. Lamar was still questionable, but yeah, I think this week we're gonna take them against the Hawk Tua and his Dolphins with a 10. That'll bring us to number 9. Our number 9 here is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, Hanks, Tom Landry, great coach, against the Arizona Cardinals. Dallas, you know, has been in and out, off and on here, but I'm going to take a 9 of them against the Cardinals at home. I'll take a 9. I think that'll be a decent one. That brings us to our number 8 pick. The Seattle Seahawks are going to Washington to face those Commanders. I don't know what I can say about the Commanders. It looks like they ran out of gas, and I don't know if they have enough to finish off the year in the top 10 team that they were ranked. A lot of stuff going on over there. But I will take the Seahawks with an 8 against them this week. I don't think the Commanders have enough to beat them. Nobody had Washington last week, and I would not be surprised if maybe a couple had them this week, only because they're at home. But besides that, it's going to be like last week. Nobody had Miami and nobody had Washington in my confidence pool. That brings us to number 7. The Atlanta Falcons are in New England, taking on the Pats. New England is on fire. I don't know if they'll win the bowl the Super Bowl like Tom Brady and them, but I think they have enough to take on the Falcons. The Falcons looked horrible. I mean horrible last week against Hawk Tua and his Dolphins, but I don't think they have enough, even if they try playing against New England this week at home in New England. Yeah, give me a 7 on that one. Everybody had Atlanta in the pool last week. Yeah, everyone had them, and that didn't work out so well. So we're not taking them this week. New England with the 7. That'll bring us to number 6. That's the Denver Broncos at Houston. Oh, bang, old dang, old dang, bang, old dang. We're taking Boomhauer's Houston Texans. No, we're not. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos with the 6 in Houston. I know Houston looked good last week, 4 people had Houston. Nothing higher than a 4, but one of them was in the money. So, this game and the Bears game definitely cost me my week last week, but I'm not taking Houston this week. With that being said, that brings us to number 5. The Jacksonville Jags are going to Vegas, baby. Hopefully they stay away from those slots because I think they got enough to beat Pete Carroll and the Raiders at home. I'm going to take a 5 on them, though, just in case, coming off that bye week. That brings us to number 4. That is the San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Giants in New York. I'm a big 49er guy. I did not like last week's game. They played horrible last week, and that's why I'm not going higher than a 4 on this one. The New York Giants can turn it on whenever they want, it seems like. So, just in case, though, I will take a 4 on them. That brings us to number 3. And we're putting a 3 on my favorite team of the season. Indianapolis Colts at Pittsburgh Steelers with a 3. I'll take the Colts. I mean, Aaron's got to have a fire under his butt, whatever. I really wanted to see Kenny's reaction to this one as I blew up his chat when he thought Aaron was going to win, get his revenge game. Well, that didn't happen, so I'll take the Indianapolis Colts with the 3. That brings us to our number 2 game. The Bears are going to Cincy to take on the Bengals. I'll take a 2 on this one. I heard Joe Flacco's shoulder might not be 100%, and Bears seem to be out of it again. One guy took the Jets last week with the 7. He was not in the money. 10 people and myself had the Bears last week, mostly with 2s, but one had like 4s and 5s on it. Yeah, I'll take the Bengals with the 2 on this one, though. And that brings us to our number 1. I will take the Buffalo Bills at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. KC was last week, and, they went... last week, my pool was very close. If KC won, they had to go into the tiebreaker to decide a winner. So this week, the tiebreaker, for those of you with the Monday night game, Arizona and Dallas... Yeah, so that tiebreaker on Monday, the Arizona-Dallas game, is 47 points. And that does it for me and the Against Us podcast this week. Confidence Pool, Week 9 of your NFL picks. Thank you for joining in. And as always, like and subscribe. We love doing this for you. We want to keep doing this for you. And we appreciate your support. Thank you and have a good week.
Alright, sorry about that. I don't know why my co-host insists on making it sound like I'm not going to be on the video when we do these this way. I explained it fairly clearly, I thought. I am here this week, just unable to do the one-on-one video we usually do because things came up. Fairly simple concept, I thoroughly explained, but here we are. So I am here. All right, off to the picks anyway.
My number 14 game, I'm going to go with the Ravens. That's so Ravens. And that joke doesn't land as well without a co-host, I guess. Lamar's back this time. They're being investigated for reporting that he would be back last time, and then he didn't. So that's interesting. But I'm going to say that the Ravens will be fine again. Going against the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins win 2 in a row, but got to give it to them for showing up last week, so there's that. Number 13. I'm going to take the Rams at that spot over the Saints at home, coming off a bye. If they don't win this, somebody should be fired. Saints are benching Spencer Rattler for that rookie guy they had, Shook or whatever. This is my survivor game, of which I am still alive, and there's only 5,696 people left in that for Yahoo, so we're hanging in there. All right, number 12. I'm going to take the Lions coming off the bye. Wentz is hurt for the Vikings. Apparently he was hurt. He's been hurt for 2 weeks now, and was still starting for J.J. McCarthy. Are they hiding J.J., or is he just hurt also? Coming into this, I had seen that they were going to start J.J. now that Wentz is really hurt, but when I look ahead on the score app, they still show Wentz. I don't know who's quarterback in this. Either way, I'm just going to take the Lions and look the other way. The Vikings are in trouble. Number 11, I'm going to take the Packers. Home against the Panthers. They got to win this, or I don't want to hear any more of their hype. They showed up last week where they were supposed to. More on that in a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Packers should be fine against the Panthers. Again, come on, man. Number 10. I'm going to go Broncos. I probably have this one a little higher than I would want to, but I'm looking at everything else and I just left it alone. Broncos. I don't know who's favored in this game. On everything I have with Yahoo and Score, the Texans are actually favored. But in most real places, they're not, so it's weird. When you see stuff like that, I'll usually take it, but I'm not taking the Texans. I don't think the Texans win 2 in a row. Even though I called for their upset last week, which I guess I just got lucky, I suppose. But I did call that upset. Yeah, I think the Broncos will take care of business this time. They better. Now back to where we were. Number 9. This is the first game we will differ on. Although the rest of them are in just different spots, we agree on them. This one will differ here. Steelers and Colts. I'm going to take the Steelers. The Colts are going to drop one eventually. I keep saying that, and they never do, and I know. Colts fans rejoice. But Pittsburgh's got to bounce back after the loss. Hopefully they're dressed better than they were last time, I hope. Luis wanted to make a big point out of this game because we had different in the same spot and went his way to the Packers, which is, fair enough. All I can say is that the Steelers were in control of that game for the most part, and I think the defense let them down in the end. It wasn't really even on Aaron Rodgers at that point, and dressed like that, they're not going to win. That was awful. He didn't mention, though, the other games we differed on that I got right. He only mentioned that one that I got wrong. Interesting. What an interesting thing to leave out there. Suspicious indeed, leaving out facts. Anyway, we did pretty good last week, but number 8. This is where we once again disagree on a game in the same spot. Commanders and Seattle. I'm going to take Commanders at home, like he said. Daniels is back. McLaurin's back now. So their schedule's getting really tough here soon. They need this win because this is the last chance to get one for a while, probably. I'm not picking this as a fan. I pick against them all the time. Y'all know that. So I just feel like it's a good spot. I feel like Seattle on the road, going all the way across the country. Commanders at home with some people coming back off of injuries. This is their chance, man. They got to get it. So I'm going to take the Commanders on this one. It's at 8, so it's not a great one for me, but I think it'll be okay for a week. And we'll see. Seattle, too. I like Seattle. I've been picking them all week. I think they're a solid team, and they'll probably get some spots up here, but I'm going to take the Commanders at 8. Number 7, I'm going to take the Bears to bounce back. Flacco's banged up for the Bengals. Hold on. Okay, I had to read what my notes said there. Yeah, I've been promising to get to Luis on this, and I finally did, and now we're not here to talk about it. He always asks the question every week, will the Bears win 9 games this year? I think so. If they win this week and they get up to 5 with so many games left, I think they can. They do have a tough schedule back and forth, but they also have some winnable games in there. I don't see how they don't with so many games left. I think they probably win 9 or 10, but if they lose this week, then I'd probably say absolutely not. You got to win the winnable games. That's important. So I'm going to take the Bears this week to bounce back. And there's that. Number 6, gonna take the Niners to bounce back off of their loss to the Texans, which again I predicted, but whatever. Giants, possibly a rally spot for the Giants here too. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I have this a little lowered with Scatterboo getting injured. I wouldn't be surprised if they all rallied together and rah-rahed and beat the Niners on the, But I don't know. I think this Giants team might also, there's the chance that they'd be hitting the wall too and just be crushed by that injury and losing a guy like that. It sucks. And their spirit may also be crushed. I don't know. Tough either way, but I'm going to take the Niners at home. I don't know if they're at home or not. I didn't write that down. But I'm going to take the Niners. I didn't mean to even say that. I'll take the Niners against the Giants, wherever the hell they are. Number 5, Dallas. Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas too. Cardinals on the road. Dallas needs to bounce back here also. This is, again, winnable games. You got to win the winnable games. Not much to be said there. I'll take Dallas. I hate picking Dallas. Y'all know that, but win's a win, and they're going to probably do it. Number 4, I will also take the Chargers. Coming off of a long rest there, the Titans couldn't even cover a 15-point spread last week, which I took in my pick 6. Just, my goodness. But I will say this. I don't like how much I'm seeing Herbert all over the place. The quarterback there, man. He's at the Dodgers games. He's at the World Series and basketball games. Like, dude, focus on football. What is it? He's this little hot actress chick there. Come on, man. Get it together. Pay attention. Chargers aren't doing that good yet. So I'm going to take the Chargers here, but he needs to focus. They need to pay attention. They need to get it together. And if they lose to the Titans, he'll be hearing from me about it. All right? All right. Number 3, we will take the Patriots. Yeah, number 3, the Patriots. They have won a lot in a row, and that really, again, it feels like they're eventually going to lose one. They're the 2 hot teams, the Patriots and the Colts, that are just constantly winning, and eventually they're going to drop it. So I'm predicting the Colts to drop theirs, but I don't know about the Patriots yet, man. They are at home, so that helps. Atlanta's so unpredictable, man. They play good teams and they win, and then they play bad teams and they lose. So it's hard to really pin them down. So they could upset the Patriots. That's why I only have this at a 3. But I also don't like what I see from Atlanta most of the time. So I'm going to take the Patriots to keep rolling. Although I do predict the Patriots falling here very soon, whether it's this week or next. The other game we disagree on is here, but it's very low for me. I will take the Raiders. My only note on this is I don't know. I just don't trust the Jags on the road. I don't trust the Jags, period, to be honest. Not real high on the Raiders either, of course, but they are at home. Jags are going to cross over there. I don't know. I'm just going to take the Raiders, and we'll see. I don't have a whole lot on that. My number 1, Of course, we get down to the Bills and Chiefs game. The Chiefs won big on Monday. I also agree. I'm going to take the Bills at home for the win here. You know how it goes. The Bills win the regular season games and then lose in the playoffs when it matters. That's probably the thing. Although they've been really weak, and the Chiefs are getting on a roll, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won it. That's why I keep this as a 1. But I'm going to take the Bills at home, and we'll see. And like I said, when this gets to the playoffs, we'll have a different discussion. So overall, I think actually we only disagree on 3 games. I couldn't really tell in your pick, Luis, if you picked the Niners or the Giants. I think you said Niners, but it was hard to tell which way you were leaning on that. So I'm assuming you took the Niners, and if that's the case, we only differ on the Steelers-Colts game, Commanders and Seahawks game, and Raiders and Jags. That's it. That is my picks. Now, we will see y'all next week.